Hey everyone, it's me, Jonathan from Motorcycology, doing something different on the channel today for a change for me, and just taking a break. So the channel Motorcycology is about, obviously, the C3 Corvette, motorcycles, scuba diving, travel, and also some other adventures. So in today's video, I'm doing a camp alone one night on this crazy abandoned island, and I'll show you this island later on in the video, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's a Saturday night. I just need to decompress and take a moment, take an evening and chill. It's a nice pleasant evening. It's sunny, early May 2023, so I'll get around to showing you this island, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go set up. So thanks so much for being here and sticking around. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video and the break just as much as I do. So starting my adventure here, I just hopped in the kayak and got started. So what you don't really notice here is the current in the Mississippi River at this time of year is super fast. So it's a lot of work paddling upstream just to go straight across the river. So you can kind of see that in this video, looking at the wake from the kayak, how fast the current is moving. So that was one of the biggest challenges, and thankfully I didn't really have that far to go in order to make it to the island. So yeah, in order to get there, I certainly had to paddle upstream just to go directly across the river from point A to point B. So in this next shot coming up, you're going to see how fast the current is and how I had to situate the kayak so that I could just traverse the river from side A to side B. Anyway, it was fun, and that's the main point of the whole thing. Definitely no beaches here to get in, so it's a matter of finding a spot where you think you can safely get out of a kayak and get all your gear on board the island. So I think in this particular thing, I ended up losing my baseball hat and my glasses at one point. This is going to be my camping setup in here, and as you can see, there's lots of open spaces and a mixture between conifers and deciduous trees, which haven't quite got their leaves yet. It's still early in the spring, so I'm going to go settle in and put my little camp together. And this is just a time lapse of me doing this. Didn't take too long, probably about 10 minutes. So here's the tent right now and the campsite as it is for now. This is the name of the tent. It's not a very expensive tent. I think they're about $70 or something like that, but they're really compact. And I came to this island on a kayak, which I'm sure you've seen in some of the footage. So that's pretty good. Tent itself is not bad quality at all. It's got the regular shock cords in fiberglass poles, and seams are okay. It's got a tiny fly on it for the rain. It's not going to rain tonight, so that's good. Let's check it out inside. That's good. Little zipper. I'll put a peg on that. pretty cool. Go. This bug net looks all right. This is not the normal bedroll or mattress that I use, but this is the one I could find. Super comfortable, a little bit bulky for this type of trip. All right. Open the valve, let this inflate for a while. Sleeping bag. I've got a second sleeping bag if I need it, and I'll probably just use it as a throw. This is all good enough for your kind of off-trail type of camping stuff. Anything that you can use in your backpack. So these sleeping bags are only good for moderate weather, although they fluff up really nicely. The orange one is an Eddie Bauer sleeping bag, and it is good for, what's the rating here? 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So lightweight. Same with this one, I think it's the same. Yeah, it doesn't say on the bag, but it's light weather stuff too. But together, they'll be fine. Both of them. It's another camping pillow made by a company called Trekology. Interesting. Trekology, motorcycology. This one is a little bit different. It's got some non-stick little nubs on it, and this can go around your air mattress so it doesn't slip as well. It's just inflatable by blowing up. There we go, that should be good. And it's got a deflate knob right there that you can press. Deflates it. That's pretty nice. So that's kind of like what it looks like inside. Not too bad. Very green. And it's even got a little pouch down here for wallet and things like that. Should be pretty good. Just having a hike through here. See what is up. Hopefully get you on a bigger tour of this island. It's pretty huge, actually. Pretty big island. The time right now is 7:30 p.m. so it's going to be getting dark pretty soon. And this is more of a conifer forested area here. This island has a big mixture and a really big coastline, so we're almost there. I'm wearing these glasses to protect my eyes as much as from the sun. So here's one side of the island. The water is super high because of the snowmelt. There is the view from this part of the island. I'm gonna make my way back. Oh, look at these things. They're nasty. Ow. Little spiky things. Got a nice sunset coming up. Make my way back. If I can find my way back. Definitely can't see my camp, or it's not standing out as much as you think. I can't see it yet. I know that I'm really close to it. Maybe you guys can see it. Aha. Whoa. You guys will be able to see it now for sure. There we go. I think it blends in really nicely. And if I head somewhere else, you can see that it's pretty open up here. And then it goes into another forest over there. Yeah, very nice. So some of the essentials here that I bring along are a beanie in case it gets cold, like that, or it's also reversible in case you want to be seen, like that. Got a mini saw, which is good for cutting down small branches for firewood. Not too sure if I'm going to do a fire here or not. I have a fire starter. I also have a glow stick for the nighttime. And also I have one of these butane stoves, which I'm going to use to cook something later on. And I have a headlight for nighttime. It's also got red on it as well. So that's pretty good. And I've got some earbuds to relax with, and also this is a power bank. It's got a couple charging ports for USB. It's a USB 2 in for charging, which is alright, I guess. And then it also has a flashlight, which also is pre-programmed for SOS, Morse code, if that's required. And then it's also got an emergency strobe as well. The other good thing is it's got a solar panel on it, which you can see right now it's actually charging when it's getting some sun on it as well. It's not the preferred method to charge it, but it's good for an emergency so that you never run out. So that'll last me. It will charge my cameras, my phone, and any other electronic equipment that I have here, like my my phone and the camera that I'm using. So that's good. And of course, you need some off as well. And the bugs are starting to come out. Just panning back to show you the island that I'm at. I'm at the lower left-hand quadrant of that island. And I'm just going to move around here and show you the sunset that is getting ready to happen, and pan right back to the island once again. Got some water boiling on the butane stove. Got this handy kit here. Comes with a larger pot, a pot for frying things maybe, a lid for both, some cups, and a kettle, which I'm using to boil a bottle of water right there. Here we go, it's boiling. So this is done, can turn this off. Got some hot water here for tea. Throw that in. Perfect. Got a pre-made teriyaki dinner here. Just going to heat that up. Stick the lid on to keep it warm. Fire in a bit of milk here. There we go. That is good. Nice and warm. Well, I'm just waiting for my dinner to cook. It is now 8:35 and it's getting dark pretty fast. So I'll be having something to eat and then just gonna chill for the rest of the night. Hopefully get up early tomorrow and show you some of this island beyond what I've already shown you. Oh, I just see a deer over there, which is kind of cool. Nice to know. Hopefully they won't hang around here too much. Anyway, if I can get a picture of that deer, I'll show you that. But it is getting dark and these guys will be walking around. So I'm sure they don't get too many people in this area. So we'll see. I see the deer checking me out. Hopefully they won't come over for some food. Oh, there's at least two over there. I'll see if I can get those guys on camera. There's the camping meal, which is chicken teriyaki, and looks pretty good. A little bit more than what I'd want, but I'll take it. This chicken teriyaki that I made is, I don't know, let me taste it. Very uneventful, not much flavor. And the protein, let's check the chicken out. Chickeny, a little bit burnt tasting, but not so good. Starchy, but I will eat all the protein parts of it. It's nice and warm. Not bad. You can see Venus up there. I don't know if you guys can see Venus up there. Pretty bright. It is a challenge getting all this stuff in one backpack for a night out. But in my case, well worth it. I needed a break, needed a night out in the wilderness that's not too far away from where I live. I've had better, but whatever. I don't know why I made this, but I better eat it. Ramen noodles are always good to take with you, I guess. Definitely getting colder out. It's still the first week of May, so it's going to be cold. This has cooled off now. I just like to make sure that they go away. Just putting away some of my gear before the evening. It got dark really quickly after the sunset went down, so this is probably about 9:30, 9:45 in the evening. putting away the single burner isobutane camp stove, which is great for one person or two people, creates a lot of heat and is really fuel efficient, so that works well. So I'm folding that up, putting it away, and getting ready for the evening, and just chill and relax, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Time to get up. Yeah, it's time to get up and make the most of today. So, wasn't too cold in here. I think it probably went down to about 5 degrees, but I had a couple sleeping bags and a couple hand warmers, which created a certain amount of heat in the sleeping bag, which was great. So, worked out okay. More of the terrain around here. Yeah, so it's really nice out here. A mixture between a little bit of open spaces and some big forests and some fields, and I'll show you a bit more about that. So here you can see the campsite that I decided to select. And as I pull back from the campsite, you'll be able to see the entirety of the island where I was and the type of topography that's there, as far as kind of like flat land and also wooded land and different types of trees. So at this time there were not too many leaves out on the trees because it was early May, but they're getting there. Anyway, I'm pulling out. It's actually a very huge area of land, very difficult to appreciate until you're actually on there and can see it. Also, if you look at the right of the screen, you'll be able to see a kind of a black line go through the right-hand quarter of the screen from top to bottom, and those are deer trails. So this island has some deer on it. I did see a couple of them. Not too sure how they got there. Maybe it was in the winter. Maybe it was when the water was low. I don't know. Anyway, that's what that line down the center of the screen is. It's a path that the deer take to get around the island. So as you can see, there's that big opening in the center of the island, more or less. That's partially where I chose to camp, and the rest of it is just covered with some pretty heavily wooded areas. So as you can see, this is the size of the island. It took me about 6 minutes to walk from where I kayaked to the location where I set up the tent. So not too bad. So this island is relatively close to a neighborhood. However, due to the river, which is not easy to cross unless you have a kayak or something like that, this island remains pretty isolated. It hasn't been developed. I don't think that the township wants to develop it, and they just want to keep it as local, wild, undisturbed type of property. But it was a fun place to go to camp, that's for sure. I'm just getting ready to pack up all my gear here and head back, which I had to take the kayak to get here. So my kayak is stored somewhere, hidden more or less, and I got to get that loaded up and then head back for the day. So there's the site right over here. Just heating up some water for a drink before I head out, and you can see behind there how it's all forest, which is kind of cool. This is another view of the island, more or less from the south heading north. So I would have been on the northeast quadrant. So this is heading from the south, moving up towards the north. So if you think of northeast, that's about where I was on this island. So it was pretty cool. It was a nice evening out. It was relaxing, super quiet, and definitely good for the body, mind, and soul, which was exactly what I needed at that particular time. So pretty cool to live relatively close to this abandoned, unusual island. All right. So getting ready to take down the camp, and it's pretty easy with a tent that is this size. Takes minutes to pack it up and get mobile again. So all in all, I would rate this tent as about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's got a really small fly on the top, which could be challenging if the weather was rainy. And the rest of it, pretty straightforward. You can get other tents where you don't have to thread the shock corded poles through the tent material and they just go on the outside with hooks. I think ultimately that would be a little bit easier and faster. But my main concern with this tent was having a tent that is small and compact enough so that you can fire it in a backpack and do some backwoods hiking and camping if that's something that you like to do. So I don't have any issues with this tent at all. It is totally big enough for one person, easy to set up, easy to put away. So that's one of many tents that I have, and maybe in other videos I'll show off some other ones that I have, which could be larger or smaller. And I may trial out a few other backpack type of tents as well in the future and see how they go. This particular one here that was called Black Knight was under $100, and you can get these off of Amazon.com or Amazon.ca or through Amazon in general. Just put in the search hiking tent and this type of option will come up, and then look for the company called Black Knight with the cat logo and you'll be all set. Yep, getting ready to head back to the shore and on the kayak to end this night out camping, this solo camping, and there's always a lot of crazy, interesting things to see, like that great big tree. Just working my way through some of the deep bush here. Yeah, I can't say I like this walk too much. Another way I could have done this would have been to maybe go around the coastline of the island, but I've tried that before and it's slower going than this. It is kind of weird being on this great big piece of property on an island and no one else being here. Got lots of jabs on my body, on my hands, lots of scratches, but not too bad. Making progress on my way back. This is my last trip just to get my backpack, and then it's onto the kayak and then paddle out of here. Well, it was a good break for me. It was a nice little mental break from all the work, day-to-day life. So it's kind of good to get out, and not too hot here yet and not too cold either, so it's all good. All right, time to make it through this next kind of mini clearing here. You have to plan your route out a little bit in advance. Line of sight to make it clear through. Last night I did hear some deer snorting in the woods. I didn't see them again, not since I saw them last night. So I did see 2 of them originally. A lot of weird looking trees around here too. So it's about a good 5-minute walk back, maybe a little longer. All right, almost out of here and into the final clearing here. Make sure I don't go back that way. Now we're into the more meadow-ish area. A little bit more wide open space. But a lot of these prickly little bushes around. There we go. And like all these places, leave them better than when you came here. So any garbage that was around I've picked up. I'll do a final look through and take it from there. It's the site that I was using. Looks pretty untouched there. See my bag in there. Actually works pretty well in this type of terrain. So I'll just do a quick look around, make sure that I haven't missed anything, and then I'll be loading up the kayak. So I'm just getting ready to leave the island and head to the mainland, so to speak. So as I head across, you can once again see how strong the river flow is, the mighty Mississippi River. And I think this is a good video image that shows how fast you can get picked up into this current. And when you're actually in a small boat or a kayak like that, you can feel the weight of the water pushing you downstream. So it was a significant amount of intense paddling to stay on track from point A to point B. So although I was on track, I think that I was drifting to my left or to my port side as I was heading across the river. So this is going to conclude the solo camping night away from home. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching these videos and being part of the adventures, albeit from a different perspective than I had in this one. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for the support, and we will catch you all in the next video, which is going to be back on one of the cars or motorcycles. So take care for now, and we'll see you in the next video.